What's going on, guys? Today I'm going to be comparing Viral Launch to Jungle Scout. Now, both of these are great tools for Amazon selling. They have a lot of different features, and I'm going to be comparing them on my products, which I know exactly how many a day they sell, and show you if they're actually accurate or which one is more accurate than the other. So if you're not familiar with either of the tools, they both help with multiple things when selling on Amazon. Mainly, their purpose is product research or finding the right product to sell based off of all the data that you get. So we're looking at things like sales, reviews, how many of the same brand, what's the profit like, what's the entire market like, and a ton of other factors. So I'm not going to dive into those. If you want, there's separate videos on those. But let's just get to comparing them right off the bat, what they do very quickly, and then I'll compare the numbers. So we'll start with Viral Launch. Viral Launch, they have a tool called Product Discovery, which you can select any category, any kind of parameters you want, whether it's sales, the price, revenue, the reviews. For me, I mainly use the sales, the reviews, and the price just to keep it simple. And then they have advanced details down here. And when you hit search, so for this one, I'm looking at anything that sells more than 250 units a month, is in the price range of $12 to $30, and has less than 75 reviews. Now, I could fill out more if I wanted to. Like this, the initial investment cost. This, honestly, if you put a lower amount, they just show you the lower price products. If you put the higher one, they'll show you the higher price products. It's pretty much as simple as that. That's not some complicated formula. So once we hit view results, it'll search and it'll bring up everything on Amazon that is in these categories. And again, we can select whatever we want meets all of the criteria we just put in. So we can see we got some glasses, and we can see, so BSR's bestseller rank, we don't really care about that. We got monthly sales, we got revenue, we got price, and we could see more or less data if we want, like how much the sales have changed over the last month. So it's up 8%. Now this is really helpful because you can see if someone did a huge giveaway of units and they're not actually getting organic sales, or if they just got a ton of reviews recently. So it's nice to see if they drop their price, if they just changed a lot. So I do like the advanced details on that. That's one of my favorite parts of this. And you can just go through here. Next tool, Market Intelligence. So Market Intelligence is their Chrome extension. Now you can do other searches in here and see different types of products. So they give the example of fish oil, so we'll just use that. I search that up and it'll pull up a bunch of data, and we can see the top sellers for that keyword. So when you search that word on Amazon, this is the order they come up, and it'll give you all the data. But the main thing with this is the Chrome extension right here that they have. So if I were to search the same thing or any word or any listing, I just click the Chrome extension up here and it pulls all the data showing sales, price, brands, and you can edit anything you want in and out of this. If I want to see the package height, if I want to see what their bestseller rank is, their category, you can add that all in there and take a photo or export it in a Excel document. Now, the next tool with Viral Launch is their launch tool. Now you can do giveaways, you can create a launch and just analyze it if you want to. I personally have not used this feature, so I'm not going to go too in depth about it, but you can load your own products in and do a launch through them if you want, or not. And then the creatives down here, they pretty much sell you listing optimization, product photography if you want it. Again, never used. And then Dominate is their newer one. It's called Listing Dojo, and it's pretty much them. I think they're doing it for free right now. You don't have to put your card in. And they're just kind of looking over your listing and your PPC and helping you kind of optimize all that. Right here, you can see that. So let's move over to Jungle Scout real quick. So Jungle Scout has a lot of these similar tools. I've been using Jungle Scout for a longer time and I haven't had any issues. It's actually helped me a lot. I tried Viral Launch back in the day and I honestly didn't like it, but that was almost a year ago. So that's why I'm making this video. So they have product database. It's the same thing. They're honestly really similar, pretty much the same filters and whatnot. The only thing, this does not have the difference in sales change and whatnot, which I do like on Viral Launch. But you can select all the categories, choose what Amazon Marketplace you're in, and you can choose if you want it to be standard, so you don't want anything oversized, or you only want to see FBA sellers, so sellers like us, we don't want to compete against Amazon. and it pulls up the same information, and you can select all the data you want and change the filters and sort. So if you want to see, okay, I want to see who has the most sales first or the least amount of sales first, you can sort by that and search through there. So that is their product database. They also have a product tracker, which I could add. Let's say I'm looking in a certain niche and I see, okay, fidget spinners. I definitely want to sell fidget spinners. Please don't. I'm going to add the top 10 products, and I'm going to see how much they sell every single day instead of looking at the monthly number as a whole, because that could be skewed. They could sell 100 in one day and then as a giveaway or something, and then just be selling one a day. That's not going to be a product we want to jump on. So that is their product tracker. You can add a bunch to that and go in there and just track them and make sure they are getting the sales that the numbers say they are. So lastly, they have their niche hunter, which is kind of like the product database, but you can find different niches and keywords, and you can see all the keywords here, and set the parameters and find a niche like that if you're going for building a brand on Amazon. Now, Jungle Scout does have their own Chrome extension as well. It's the one right next here, and it's the same thing. You click it when you search something, and it pulls up all the data, and you can change what you want to see, what you don't want to see. You can download it, screenshot it, pretty much same thing like I was saying. Now, there is a little bit of difference in data, and that's what we're going to get to right now. So I had a strategy when going to compare Jungle Scout with Viral Launch. I wanted to choose different types of products. I didn't want to just say, okay, I looked at this product and the numbers are this different, because it does vary. They are using equations based off of bestseller ranks, and that is how they're getting these sales figures. Now, they've sold their own products. That's kind of how they dial it in, but it's different with each category, each subcategory. It's a slightly different equation they're using, which is why these numbers will vary. So if Viral Launch is off by 100 units a month and Jungle Scout's spot on for kitchen and dining, it could be the opposite when it comes to sports and outdoors. So you will have to look. Each different category is going to vary. Each subcategory is going to vary. Each product will vary, and it will depend on how many sales they're getting and whatnot. So I went out and I compared a product that has low sales, a product that has medium sales, and then a product that has very high sales, to see if one maybe scales a lot quicker than the other, one doesn't jump up, or see what the kind of outliers look like. So this first comparison is for the lower sales. So I'm looking at the sales right here, because reviews, they always have the same amount. That's easy to pull. Sales is the main thing we're looking at. So for Jungle Scout, we see we have 34, 49, 26, 72, and then 1,200. And then with Viral Launch, we have almost the same. 42, 62, 103. Now that one's a little bit of an outlier compared to 26 here. And then you got 60, and then almost the exact same for this one. So they look pretty similar. Right here, Viral Launch is a little bit higher on the lower end, which I did notice with multiple products. Now, which one is more accurate? I can't say. For one of my products, actually, when I did the lower one, Jungle Scout was more accurate, but they're both pretty close. From what I've noticed on the lower end products, Jungle Scout's usually within 5 to 7%. Viral Launch is usually within 5 to 15%. So a little bit more variation. Once it gets on the very low end, I think Viral Launch isn't as accurate as Jungle Scout. But in the mid-range, I think they're both very accurate. So let's move to a mid-range product, so one that sells a decent amount. So we see Jungle Scout has some pretty high numbers over here, averaging about 800 with almost 1,200 on those two. And with Viral Launch, we have about the same thing. Viral Launch seems to be a little bit lower here, but very, very similar. Again, not too much variation. They're usually within 50, except for this one right here. That's the only one that looks to be a lot different. Most of them are within 50 or 100 sales, so about 10% variation at most between these two. And let's move up to the high-end products, so ones that are selling crazy amounts. So this is where I was like, whoa, that's big difference. So on Jungle Scout, it says 7,600 sales here, and on Viral Launch, it says 2,636. Now, this is the part where I got confused, because the first one here, it pulled up for the same listing. This is the same listing, but the price shows as different here because there's different variations of products, which is why it looks different. So this is a product that has 7 different variations. So on Jungle Scout, it counts all variations as one listing in the sales here. With Viral Launch, I don't know if they're doing that because they have a different price, because I went in and checked, it's $19.99 on both of them, but different bundles under that same listing sell different amounts, are different prices. So it pulled this price. I don't know if it pulls the one that sells the most, the single variation, or it counts them all, but 5,000 sales is a big difference here. But then right after, it gets back to pretty accurate. And with the higher end stuff, I've noticed this on multiple products. Jungle Scout always shows, not always, but most of the time shows very high numbers compared to Viral Launch. Now, unfortunately, I don't have anything selling 3,000 units a month or higher, so I can't really come and compare a single product that does that to these two, so we can only use this data. As far as comparing Jungle Scout, one of my listings, the amount of sales it actually does compared to what they say, Jungle Scout has been more accurate in the mid and low range for that one. They're both very accurate and both very useful, but I still kind of prefer Jungle Scout if we're looking at the straight data, what's more accurate. I like going off Jungle Scout. Unless it's these higher numbers, after looking at this, I might use Viral Launch for these, but I honestly use both of them for different tools. So Viral Launch has a couple cool features that Jungle Scout doesn't. I use Jungle Scout because it's accurate. I use Viral Launch because it has some cool tools and features I like to use. You can pin ideas, the market intelligence with the keyword searches and the search volume and whatnot. Very cool. And then the Dominate thing's free right now, so it's fun to just play with that. But they have, if I want to come, I'll go and check and look at kind of the changes in the percentages of sales. So comparing these two, I prefer Jungle Scout for the straight data, what's more accurate. I like Viral Launch and its cool little tools and features. They're both pretty accurate. I don't think you can go wrong with either one. So I'm going to compare the pricing. So Viral Launch's pricing is different than Jungle Scout. So Viral Launch, you can start with just Product Discovery, and you only get the Product Discovery and the Chrome extension. If you move up to Intermediate, so that's $29 a month, or if you do it annually, $290. So I'm going to assume you guys are going to do it monthly. Intermediate, you get Market Intelligence and the Product Discovery and the Product Research, the Keyword Tool, the Brand Search. Advanced, $79 a month, you get everything plus the category search, so I don't think that's worth it. And Pro, you get everything plus the keyword research. And then if you want more, if you want to use the launch softwares, if you want to use the Dominate softwares, you have to buy more. So it can get pricey. You can see $400 one time for this. It gets pretty pricey. So I honestly don't use any of those. With Jungle Scout's pricing, so Jungle Scout's pricing is pretty simple. They have their Chrome extension, which is a one-time purchase, and it's actually pretty cheap. And then they have their web app, which is the product research, where you'll put in the parameters and go through this and check all that. And that is monthly. So Jungle Scout's pricing for the web app, which again is just the product research where you put in categories and whatnot, they have 3 different pricing, and you can do startup, standard, or business. So you can track your products. The only difference between these mainly is how many users you have and the niche hunter tool. So honestly, don't tell people to use business really ever. Standard, I like. Business only if you want to track more products or if you want to have 5 users on there. But standard is my favorite. It's $49 a month. You get the niche hunter and you get that product tracker and the database. Or if you're just beginning and you don't have enough to pay the extra $20 a month to track your products and have the niche hunter, then you can do everything else, just you don't have the niche hunter for $29 a month. Now that's if you're billed annually. If you're doing monthly, it does jump up in price a little bit. So you can see the $69 a month here or the $39 a month here. Now Jungle Scout has 2 pricing structures for their Chrome extension, which just pulls the data like you guys saw. They have the Pro and the Lite, and it's a one-time purchase. You can do the $97 one and you get everything like you saw on my screen. I have the Pro one, except you don't get the profit calculator, which is okay. We don't really need that. You can use the FBA calculator. You get the dimensions and weight, FBA fee, and the opportunity score, which if you know what you're doing, you don't need the opportunity score, and these other ones are fine. So I honestly say go after the 97 one, or since it's a one-time purchase, you just want to have everything, especially if they add anything else, you won't have to pay again. You'll get all the new features for free. You can do the Pro one, get the fee calculator built in so you don't have to change for $197. So this is cheaper than Viral Launch. It's a little bit more accurate in my opinion. So I left it up to you guys to decide. So yes, I have affiliate links for both. That wasn't a part of my decision at all. So I wanted to compare this, let you guys know what I thought, because I compared it to all of my products and saw which was more accurate. Again, they're very, very close, within 5-10% normally. So whatever you guys think you would like better or could work better for you, go and use that, because I think it's pretty much necessary to have one of these or some kind of product research tool instead of just going and guesstimating. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you do, leave me a comment and I'll see you guys in the next one.